adopt the resolution.
Yeah, I must say I'm a little confused as well, because the committee chair of Metro Vancouver requested Councillor Stone to be on the committee.
Yes, and per Councillor Stone's in my discussion this morning, I think he would be comfortable if council indicates their willingness for this.
Yeah. Can I speak? I was under the impression, just from, Allison may in fact, and probably is correct. I had some discussions with some people, career bureaucrats from Metro Vancouver, and it was suggested that that having a formal acceptance from the council would be a good thing in terms of just sending off a piece of correspondence to Greg Moore, but it doesn't have to be done.
We could change it to that council are pleased of Councillor Moore's, Chair Moore's invitation for Councillor Stone and support his appointment to this committee.
Yeah, I think that would be, I don't think it needs a resolution. I think it just needs acknowledgement. Okay. I think everybody agrees with the fact that Andrew's on the Parks Committee.
It's the environment and
Environment.
yeah, they've consolidated a whole bunch of the committees.
Great. Wonderful.
Okay, our next item is item 10.1, which is Mayor Adelar and CAO Mahood regarding preparing for strategic planning session, priority development and management.
Sounds like a boxing match. Yeah, one of the really important things for council to deal with at the start of any term is a strategic plan, and there has been one in place, which is attached to the bundle of
Page 35.
Page 35. And this was the strategic plan from 2010 to 2014, as amended on October 25th, 2010. And I think the vision sort of speaks for itself, but the strategic areas are quite interesting. Number 2 issue was update and implement the OCP. The number 1 issue was protect the natural environment. The third one was increase our collective strength. And the fourth one was maintain and improve our fiscal health. And number 5 was in the national park feasibility assessment. So we can scratch number 5, and we can scratch number 2, which is the update of the OCP, which leaves us with 1, 3, and 4. And I wanted to just say about number 1, it's really a motherhood kind of strategic area. It says protect the natural environment, and of course that's what this municipality should be doing, and that's what everybody on the island does, as a matter of fact. So I see that as a motherhood issue. There are things that we need to talk about under the key projects area, including solid and green waste management, which I understand is going to become a bigger issue as the year goes on. And then the fourth item, which is maintain and improve our fiscal health, I think should be moved up actually to number 1, because that is really important. And there's specific objectives which still make sense today, and as well as the key projects, which we're going to deal a little bit with today. Brent's going to deal with that. And then finally, the increasing our collective strength, which is building community assets, revitalizing Snug Cove, encouraging appropriate economic growth, local food production, enhance emergency services, improve municipal services. I mean, these are the things that a municipality does. This isn't anything magic, but this is what we have to do, and it's what we do, or supposedly do. And In the 5 or 6 weeks that I've been the mayor, and I have realized that it's not easy saying, well, we're gonna deal with parking, or we're gonna deal with sewage and water, and I shouldn't lump those in together because they're separate items, or we're gonna deal with ferries, or whatever have you. Because each of those topics form a piece of the bigger pie. And I must admit I was naive in thinking that we could deal with things, you know, on a hodgepodge basis. I see it all as being part of a bigger picture. And I think that's really where we need to spend a lot of time on. And I'm hoping that the committee structure will help us consolidate those, the wish list, if you will, or the objectives, and just narrow that focus so that we can deal with these items on an ongoing basis. So that's my thinking on things. I haven't had discussions with council, because apparently that's not allowed in between council meetings. But I think most councillors understand that that's my position. We've dealt with 2 of the 5. I don't think we should put any new ones on, because I feel that we've got to concentrate in the next 3 years on doing something which is doable. So I open it up.
If I may?
Oh, sorry.
Just to jump in on Mayor Adler's comments at this stage. Essentially, this agenda was one that raised a whole number of talking points, really, and agenda items that are going to be explored in depth as we move forward. Highlighted, of course, right off the bat off the initial topic of the financial plan review. An integral part of the financial plan, of course, is the strategic plan and how we attack all our work in a prioritized, really logical way. The intent of this item at this stage, of course, is not to discuss in depth, but to remind council that there is an existing strategic plan that highlights key projects. There's some reporting back we need to do on the work that has been done to date on this plan, and then we need to join together as a council and really prioritize and review and go through a strategic planning process which emphasizes what you as a group see is important moving forward initially this year, and then thinking in terms of your term. It won't be satisfied by anything we say today, but what I'm wanting to say to you is we need to get this discussion going fairly quickly. I would suggest that we schedule a session next week, if possible. Mayor Adler was suggesting Thursday or Friday as an opportunity to get together in a staff workshop where we prioritize, where we can, you allow me to review the projects, and we'll involve other staff where necessary. But we need to develop a discussion where we start looking at where we are with these projects, and doing some work together where we can have a discussion about how we're going to move forward. So everybody's time's at a premium, but we need to get that going fairly quickly. So that would be the main intent of this, or my comments this morning. In terms of, we could report out, and we don't have the time within this agenda to go through these in detail, but as an example, the sewage treatment plant expansion, that's the way that the wastewater treatment project was described within this plan. We have a report coming back to you, giving you status, reviewing where we've got to with it, where we are going forward, what kinds of things we need to do in the future with it, and how that fits. So there'll be a report from utilities and the CAO addressing that. There's some work that's been done by Urban Systems on funding options which fit under the development cost charge notion in the financial area. That affects how Snug Cove is approached in terms of the implementation plan. So there's quite a bit of discussion that we need to have together to really move forward. And if I may, I'm going to try and schedule you folks into that as quickly as possible, just with respect to your schedules. And that kind of sets the scene on this, and be happy to hear comments. And but the main intent is to raise this issue to as this whole agenda is done, is got some things out on the table and emphasizing the need to build on it.
So, further to Brent's comment, I hardly agree. The big question is when and how quickly we can do this. Typically speaking, the strategic plan session is a long one. The last one was 8 hours and required more time, in essence, and during that time period, it was an open and wholehearted discussion, which allowed us to discuss a lot of the issues in detail and so forth, and basically work through the ideas, deal with the past, move forward into the future. And we required input from staff as well, which I would assume was going to be part of this process. So I agree, sooner we can do it, the better, and if necessary, we schedule 2 days for it.
Yes.
We do whatever is necessary to be able to complete that task, which is the most important thing we're going to be doing to start with.
So following up on that would be, yes, start with the Thursday and roll into the Friday meeting.
That's right.
Starting in the morning.
Start at 8 o'clock in the morning and we finish when we finish.
I'm thinking about Allison here at 8 o'clock.
Well, somebody just has to phone my alarm setting.
She could always sleep there if we go to the summer house.
Yeah, that's right.
So that, we're talking about the 19th and 20th of January. Okay.
If I may.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on Councillor Lucas's support, I wouldn't necessarily support the idea of going Thursday, Friday at this point. Let's aim for Thursday's session where we come in and do a morning session, and there's some things that need to be presented at that. Well, that's true. In the very first, we can schedule the full day and go in, just do it as a staff group, or we can also discuss during that session prioritizing and discuss the notion of looking for some consultant help with it as well to form it up, and or just get an opinion of what you folks around the table in an open conversation create. You may find that morning session leads you to want to organize something that's more a broader look, or you could spend all day as well. I mean, we could do that, but I would suggest we tackle it with a smaller approach that Thursday morning if everybody's available.
To see how it unfolds.
I mean, if people are willing to devote a whole day and rely on staff to provide the guidance, then I'm willing to take that.
Just about schedules, I know what my schedule's like, and I know that Mayor Adelar is going to be away towards the end of the month. So next week, I know for me, is a very good week to do this. The following week is, I can't do it. So, and then the next week, I think, Mayor Adelar, you're away.
On the 25th.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if we, how are people's schedules fairly good next week?
I'm actually, I'm good on the Monday, the 20th.
Well, if we can take the full Thursday, let's just.
Well, all I was implying was let's set it aside. So it would be horrible to have to stop if we were in the middle of something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.